And welcome to the ETF Edge portion of Halftime Report. I'm Bob Pisani. A week for IPOs, a big week for IPOs, with Airbnb and DoorDash going public, capping off a big year, not just for IPOs, but for their rival, special purpose acquisition vehicles, or SPACs, as they are known. Our guests today, two of the best in the business and foremost experts on this subject. Kathleen Smith from Renaissance Capital, who runs the Renaissance Capital IPO ETF, a basket of the most recent 50 IPOs. Paul Delaquila, he's Defiant's next generation SPAC ETF head. Kathleen, it's remarkable to me that IPOs have had such a stellar year with all the COVID chaos. 194 IPO deals raised $67 billion, the best since 2014. What do you attribute the stellar performance to this year for IPOs? Why have they done so well?
Well, it may have been one of the worst years for COVID, but it has been, as you mentioned, one of the best years for IPOs. Certainly, it's helped by low interest rates. And then also the IPO market works on returns, and returns are the fuel that drive the issuance engine. The returns have been very good. As you mentioned, our ETF is an example. The returns for investors and the market have been quite good. So we've just seen a rush of IPOs, an avalanche, more billion-dollar IPOs this year than we've seen in any other year in history. And we're going to see the biggest ever Airbnb, DoorDash come out this week, and a handful of other billion-dollar IPOs still set to price before the year's over.
Yeah, and historic highs for your IPO ETF. Congrats on that. Paul, SPACs raised the same amount of money as IPOs. It's remarkable. 200 SPACs raised about $64 billion. Why did SPACs take off this year? They hadn't in the past. And what are the prospects for 2021?
It's a great question, Bob. And first and foremost, it's really about the quality of the companies that are actually choosing to go via SPAC. And if you look at it, something like DraftKings earlier this year, Virgin Galactic last year, and even last week, Luminar Technologies, these are clearly companies that investors have interest in owning. Secondarily, it's about the quality of the management, the teams that are actually sponsoring SPACs. So Bill Ackman is clearly the $4 billion gorilla that everyone talks about, but you're also seeing traditional private equity leaders really step into the space, like TPG, Goldman Sachs, and that's showing a very strong commitment for 2021 for future growth.
All right, Kathleen, very quickly, what are the hot IPOs coming in 21? Just give us 3 or 4 that may happen in the next few months.
Well, we think some of the biggest include Stripe, mobile payments company. That company has a $36 billion private valuation, but is targeting a $70+ billion valuation recently. Alphabet's autonomous vehicle company Waymo, a $30 billion private valuation. Instacart in grocery delivery, it's got a $17 billion, and we think there's a good chance that Elon Musk's SpaceX will tap the IPO market, and that currently has a private valuation of $46 billion.
Okay, thank you very much, Kathleen and Paul.